Does Iran have any interest in compromising with the United States?
No, they don't. I need to explain it because it sounds a bit counterintuitive. But Iran is seeing these events that we have now more as an opportunity, an opportunity to change the whole, if you like, geopolitics of West Asia, to invert it completely, to remove the United States from West Asia, and also its whole infrastructure of finance from West Asia. And so they see this as an opportunity that they should take. I mean, and if you put it into the context, they're not interested in compromises. I mean, think about it in terms of Gaza. You know, it would be like, you know, asking Hamas to go back into the sort of caged world of Gaza and asking Iran to compromise with the 15 points that was put by Witkoff. I mean, it's like asking them to go into another sort of cage, a cage of siege, of restrictions, of tariffs, of isolation. No one is allowed to talk to you. You are excluded. And, you know, this was the major power of this region in the 19th century. Huge country, very rich, very powerful, with a huge intellectual class. And then in the 70s, the United States decided to change this and say, okay, well, actually, we are going to have primacy is going to be given to the sheikhs and the monarchs of the Gulf states, the Sunni sheikhs and monarchs, and taken away. And Iran is going to be contained and besieged for the next period. And that's what they've been going through. And I think now they've decided this is the opportunity. This is really the opportunity to change that whole prospect. And they want to change the Gulf states too into this because they can see the Gulf states are totally beholden to the United States because after 1974, of course, and the huge rise in the value of oil, in which America actually encouraged those Gulf states to increase the price. It didn't encourage them to lower it in 73 and 74. They said, keep it up. You can do what you like, but providing all of the reserves and excess savings you have, you put those into the United States or investments with the United States. And that was so crucial. I mean, this is, of course, the underpinning to the whole idea of dollar hegemony. This was the petrodollar, and it is really totally sustained by the enormous wealth that these small sheikdoms and statelets acquired during that period. And one of the prices was that they were to participate in if you like, demeaning and besieging Iran. And now we are at a point where Iran sees the opportunity to undo all that and to change it completely, in the sense that by putting the demand that passage through the Hormuz only comes if you have your cargo paid for and can prove it in yuan, not in the dollar. In other words, they're taking control over that. And they see also that they are in the driving seat because they control Hormuz utterly. And I don't think that is about to change. And controlling Hormuz does something else to the United States, which is of extreme significance. It means that if they are controlling who passes through the Hormuz, then they control the volume of oil, because this is 20% of global exports. It's a large quantity. They can control the volume of oil that is going on the market and to whom it is destined for. And in doing that and controlling the volume, either through Hormuz or indeed the Red Sea, that would make it another 30%, say, of traffic going through the Red Sea. In that case, they are pricing oil. This has been a privilege of the United States for the last, I don't know, since 1973. Effectively, they have controlled the price of oil, and the United States has benefited the whole of this financialized world of the United States, the financialized market, the movement away from real economy to a financialized world came because of all the excess profits from the Gulf being poured into American banks and allowing American banks to then go into a complete financialization at a huge cost to the United States and to its people, because that has meant, if you like, the hollowing out of the real economy. So no, I think Iran sees themselves as having the cards, the big cards. They don't see, they may be wrong on this, that there's anything really the United States can do that would upset that analysis and destroy that position. So they're very confident in this. And so no, when Witkoff proposes these things, by the way, there is no negotiation. I have checked. There is no negotiations, direct or indirect. What there are is simply these so-called mediator states, Egypt and Qatar and so on, and Pakistan. And sometimes, the United States sends them and say, will you pass this message to Iran? Sometimes the Iranians won't even accept delivery of that message, or else they will say occasionally, no. But there's no negotiation in any meaningful term of the word. I know Mr. Trump has just said there is, and it's going very well, but that simply is not true.